My friends, I spent a lot of time talking about the Baha'i writings, concepts, and teachings here at Baha'i 101. But I realize I've never told you why I'm a Baha'i. So in today's episode, we get a little personal. This is why I'm a Baha'i. At 18, I had an epiphany. I was helping lead a team for a Baha'i service project in Belglade, Florida. It's a small town, a sugar plantation basically, known primarily for growing large quantities of both sugar cane and professional football players. It's also where I was born. I know I'm a big athletic dude. Yes, I ate a lot of sugar cane. During this project, I supported a small group of young people from all across the South in tutoring children in reading and learning to start community building activities with our friends and with our neighbors. As with any project organized and run by young people, we had challenges, experienced ups and downs, and had to work out the kinks in that first year. Every day our team studied together and we planned our own activities and we carried them out. I remember I walked down the street with my team, coming from such a diversity of races and ethnicities, from working poor to the children of doctors and successful business people. Representing the breadth of the Baha'i community in the South, I looked at them, how far they'd come in terms of comfort with and love for people from different backgrounds and how much personal growth each one had undergone. And I looked at the town of my birth with the problems inherent in its existence, and I was profoundly moved by the beauty of that moment and all the power and potential it represented. And then I thought about that and how it was happening in every corner of the world. Young people working together, generating knowledge, learning. And it was in that moment that I realized, oh, this is a real thing, the Baha'i Faith. This is not just a nice thing that people believe in. This actually has the potential to transform all of humanity. And if we do it right, we could secure our future. It was truly an epiphany, and I knew I believed, and there was no turning back. Let's unpack why that moment was so impactful to me. I have lovely parents, and I grew up in a mostly Baha'i family who tried to raise me as a Baha'i. But Baha'u'llah, the founder of the Baha'i Faith, says that each person must investigate reality and truth for themselves and not just accept what previous generations believed. And baby, did I take that to heart. Growing up, there's so many influences that act on us. And somewhere down the line, I got really influenced by, friends and media. I love stand-up comedy, but most comedians mock religion pretty relentlessly. The most famous public thinkers and scientists I saw dismissed religion out of hand, and just most of the cool people I saw, I thought ignored God and faith, except for a lot of my favorite rappers. And I was influenced by ideas that seemed to permeate my young circles, that, serious, smart people don't believe in religion, that God is a silly concept, that religion is responsible for so many horrors in the world, or that human beings are inherently pleasure seekers, so we should have the freedom to do whatever makes us happy as long as it doesn't hurt anyone else. And the rules and laws of religion are meaningless and make us less free and happy. And the Baha'i Faith itself makes all kinds of claims about history and religion's sort of centrality as a positive driver of human progress. It claims about human nature and about humanity's future and how to ensure its unification. How was I supposed to know if any of those ideas were sound and capable of actually accomplishing this? I had questions, but the Baha'i Faith always had answers. Example, Baha'u'llah teaches that God is unknowable in his essence, so all the images and ideas we have about God that don't come directly from the writings and teachings of the great messengers of God are creations of our own imaginations. And saying religion is responsible for many of the horrors of the world is a better point, but if every religion says not to kill and not to act horribly, then when people following those religions or clergy of those religions act horribly in the name of their faiths, they don't speak for the messengers of God who brought those religions. The Baha'i writings even go so far as to say that if religion becomes the source of conflict and war, then it would be better to be without it. We can look at the past 100 years and see that human beings don't need the excuse of religion to perpetuate unspeakable horrors and nearly uncountable numbers against each other. So I have these two visions of life and religion floating in my head, and seemingly no way to really reconcile them. I vacillated most of high school between belief and disbelief. I was missing something sort of fundamental about the question. The Baha'i writings state, by faith is meant first conscious knowledge and second the practice of good deeds. And also the essence of faith is fewness of words and abundance of deeds. I had missed the fact that these teachings were meant to guide action, not just thought. The service project I was participating in was the response at the grassroots to a series of letters written by the supreme ruling body of the Baha'i Faith, the Universal House of Justice, and shared in order to guide the Baha'i community in its efforts to translate Baha'u'llah's revelation into reality and action, in the way most necessary at that moment. The letters represent the accumulated insights from a learning process that includes the efforts of Baha'is and their friends and neighbors all over the world, and encourages us to work closely with our friends and neighbors in a lifelong iterative process where we develop our own individual spiritual capacities and work together to develop the spiritual and material lives of our communities. This was a revelation to me in terms of orientation to community development and change. Each member of the human race is now a protagonist in the building of a new civilization. There are very few presupposed solutions, so we have to work together and find the solutions ourselves. With the great spiritual teachings of the world's religions and the uniting vision of Baha'u'llah guiding us, we move forward together with unity as our guiding principle. And so I was lucky enough to see this nascent vision enacted very practically while walking down a street in Belgrade, Florida. I was experiencing faith first as conscious knowledge and then through pure deeds. All right. Peace.